Okay, so we're absolutely going to get started on time. Um, I'm definitely an on-time, early bird, gets the worm person. Um, so glad that you could make it in. Um, Pretty excited about just the information and just wanting to share some information this morning that is compiled of years and years of running businesses, operating and launching. Some of them not doing well and learning huge lessons from them, some of them doing extremely well, and so on. So I'm preparing to get started. I think I'm going to leave the little music going in the background. Some may come in. I'm not going to close the Zoom along the way. But one of the things that I want to say as starting the Zoom is that you have to have a why, right? So we're going to talk about, some short-term goals, some long-term goals, some ways that you can structure yourself to be accountable. Accountability is huge when it comes to business and personal growth. Oftentimes, accountability is you holding yourself accountable, um, knowing that discipline is a part of it and that you will need to sacrifice something in order to get where you're trying to reach, whether it's personal or business. And it's also important to know that bringing others in for accountability, whether it's sharing your vision with a trusted circle or having a team that you're a part of, it may be important. Um, but what you want to know is that we're not here to do this alone, right? So we're going to get started and know that this is a Zoom all about succeeding. How do you succeed and master the things that you've been trying to do? Sometimes we find ourselves in a stump or stagnated. We find ourselves, procrastinating or doing something over and over again and never getting to the end point. So today we're going to touch on some of that. We will not be in here longer than an hour, and 30 to 45 minutes is my goal. I'll be doing this monthly, and it'll be the first Saturday of every month. I'm not charging for the information. This is information that I have that I could charge for, but I want to open it up so that those who decide can make an impact, so they can make a punch. Um, I am asking because we have a nonprofit, and we want to, impact community. If God lays it on your heart to donate, please do so. Right. So we are not, putting any prices or anything on that. And I'm just excited that you're spending just a little time with us this morning. All right. So I am going to open up the Zoom. This is going to be interactive for anybody who has questions along the way. It's not just going to be a lecture, right? So I am going to open it up in between topics, and feel free to jump in there and say, hey, well, how do I do that? What are some resources that I can use to do that? And I'll be happy to, share. Um, do keep in mind that because it's time centered, you may have to, talk to me on the side, which is, we can make an appointment to definitely do that. I'm gonna put the giving stuff just in the chat so that way you'll have it. If you do decide to give something towards FLC for doing the Zoom. All right, so let's jump in. I'm gonna share my screen and welcome, Brandy, welcome. I think that's Sister Barbara. Welcome.
Yes,
Um,
good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Welcome. And I'm just gonna share my screen really quickly. Um, all right. I'm not sure if you're able to see it or not. All right. So you should be able to see that there. I'm going to let somebody in. All right. Awesome. Looks like somebody else is coming in. All right. So we're just getting started. Welcome, Robina, and welcome. I think that is Sister Jaquetta. So welcome. So this is a Zoom about, your success, your growth, your succeeding with planning. Um, I want to start off with saying that you have to have a why. There has to be something that's going to push you, something that's going to press you. Those of you who just came in, if you look in the chat, you'll see that there's a PDF in there, and it's the document that we're going to be going over today. It's a principal PDF. Not anything that we're charging for. It's just something that I created, something that I use personally for weekly, monthly, quarterly planning. All right. So when you think about a why needs to be something that pushes you, something that gives you pressure, right? It might be financial security. Maybe you're on a fixed income or you have a regular job, but you want to live at a higher status. So you may want to do some planning to come up and above that. Maybe your business or your nonprofit or whatever it is that you're trying to launch is going to do that for you. Could be retirement. You may have someone that you support. In this arena, there are a lot of people who are supporting elderly parents, elderly family members, and it's a second income that they need. Traditionally, you have a lot of people who are supporting children, right? Even adult children could just be on your bucket list, right? I'll say that. Some people's why is their bucket list. I want to do this before I leave the earth, right? Before I leave the earth, I want to make this impact. I want to start this business. I want to be successful at this business. So that might be your why, right? Another thing that could be your why is to feed another thing that you're doing. So you may be launching your business or starting what you're doing and trying to become successful because one thing feeds another. I'll give you a quick example. I have an insurance agency, but I do marketing on the side. So I do marketing, I help people with budgets and planning. I don't look to profit so much from that one. That one pushes people to the other one. So they call it a loss leader, right? It's a strategy where I build a relationship with those people that I'm marketing with so that I can help them with their financial security and make an impact for their life and their family's life with the life insurance that they need to have right before they leave the earth. So that's what one feeds the other. So we're going over what your why might be right now. Some people's why might be that they want to leave their regular job. Maybe you went to school for the wrong thing. Maybe you realize that, you know what, I'm working and what I'm doing right now is not what I want to do. The sum total of it is I want to get to my passion or I want to get to the business that I'm doing. But this job is in my way. The amount of time that it takes me to do it, the 9 to 5, blah, 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 blah. Lastly, you might just want to make an impact. Some people are just looking to make a legacy impact. I have helped people strategize that had no financial gain involved. They just wanted to launch, they wanted to get it done so that they could give back to the community. So this is just your why. What is your why? So I want to just challenge you today to have pen and paper so that you can have your why in the back of your mind. If you're an electronic person, go into your notes on your phone and put that why down, right? It's 8:07, and we're going to move very expediently with this because I know it's Saturday. Um, but let's just take a minute. It just turned 8:08. So from 8:08 to 8:09, I want you to find your why. What is your why? And begin to write it down. And I'm writing mine down too. 1 minute exercise. What is your why? What is pressing you to do this business, this nonprofit, even this personal growth? What is your in total, your reason? And you might even want to like mind dump, just write different things down. Um, Clock is ticking. We're at 8:08.
Explain to me a little bit again, just a second, like a why. What do you mean again?
Well,
What do
what
you
is
mean?
your reason for why you're planning? All right, the minute is up. I'm going to share the screen again.
Okay.
uh, just so you can see. And good morning, welcome, welcome, welcome. And anytime we're doing something, we need to have a reason why we're doing it. Let me know if the screen shares for you or not. Can you see what is your why up there?
Yes, I see it. I see it.
All right. So for some people, it's financial security. Maybe you're looking to launch a business or do personal growth because you need to be more financially secure. Um, for me, I wrote down that I want legacy. I don't want success to stop with me. I want my children to see that they don't have to like survive. They can thrive throughout life. My other thing is that I run a nonprofit, as some of you know, right? We run a church. I want freedom. I want the freedom to help people. So that's my why behind what I do. So I was just asking everybody you need to have a why. Why are you trying to launch your business? Why are you looking to have a plan or even do a daily plan? Because if there's no end goal, you're going to end up where you used to be, right? Last week we were talking about at the church, and even with some of my clients, I was sharing with them what law enforcement says. Law enforcement says that if a prisoner releases from jail and we need to find them for court again, or if a prisoner escapes, we go back to where we found them originally because they have no plan. That's what they believe. But if you have a plan and you have a why, they won't find you. And you won't find yourself in the same place where you used to be. So I hope that makes sense. All right. So I'm going to pause the jazz music. All right. Even though it was sounding really good. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad you gave us some moments this morning. So I'm going to share my screen with the document that is in the chat. There's a PDF that is there, and we're going to really dig into it. Now, remember, this is an interactive Zoom. I'm only recording for you. This is not going to be shared with anybody else. I'm going to send a copy of this to those of you that want it so you can get a chance to listen again in case you're in motion or moving around while we're doing this. I highly suggest for you not to be because it's just going to be 30 to 45 minutes of your life, right? Stop and be still. So this is a 90-day plan. Um, I start quarters like a millionaire, right? I have some millionaires that are clients of mine, and majority of them are either Jewish or they're from the Ukraine. And they start their quarter, meaning they're 3 months, right? A regular quarter is January, February, March, then it ends, right? And then you go into, April, May, June. We start planning November, December, January, right? So right now, we will be in the third quarter, May, June, and July. Why do we do that? Because we don't want to run in accordance with the rest of the world. We want to be ahead of the game. And we want to get away from the January 1st thing, right? You want to be in plan already. So when January comes, you're actually ending something that you planned in November. I hope that helps a little bit. Any questions on that? All right, cool. All right, so we're going to move forward. So 90-day plan. Um, we talked about your why, and I want to say, in accordance with your why, you need to have a niche, right? A niche is when you find out the exact client, the exact thing, the exact person that you're trying to reach. And I'm going to give you an example, right? I have a client who has a t-shirt business. They just make t-shirts, right? So they're posting about t-shirts, they're talking about t-shirts. When I met with them this week, I let them know, who is your client? They're like, everybody buys t-shirts. Okay, but who are you seeking after? You need to niche down, whether you're niching down to the Cancer Association, the um, those who have family reunion, right? Who needs t-shirts, right? Schools, they use them for, trips. um, find a client, right? So for you, um, anybody on here want to tell me the type of business that they run or what it is that they're planning on doing? Anybody?
Yeah, it's Christy. I'm trying to launch a nonprofit that provides counseling, coaching, and mentoring. So my niche are people that are living beneath their highest potential because they don't know how to live above it. They don't know that there's more for them.
Okay, good, good. So that's a good start, right? Good morning. Good morning. Um, I would challenge you as you can to niche down even closer, right? Are you looking for people that are over age 40 that are living beneath, that are in a certain radius, right? Or are you looking for people of a certain gender? Do you seem to, connect with them more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try to niche it down so that you know how to market to that group. Because now you might be able to go into women's groups, right? And it'll help you to focus on what you're looking for. You might be able to go into marriage groups if it's couples, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
if you start with a niche, your marketing plan will be easier. And people will begin to know you as a brand because your focus to help these people that are living beneath their potential, it can reach everybody. But now it's easy to say that she reaches the youth, right? Young people between the ages of 18 and 24 can go to her and get everything they need. Everybody else is still going to try to get to you, but now you're focusing on that. All
Okay.
right. So just a help there. And then in the chat, Brandy says that she's opening an art studio. So with that, would it be would it be for young people? Would it be for those that are autistic, right? Somebody that's on a spectrum, so you would try to niche down in some area. It could be for the homeless. There's so many homeless people who do artwork, and they need somewhere to come to. It's like you want to niche down on an audience. It doesn't mean you're not going to serve everybody, but it's going to help you when you do your marketing. It's going to help you when you start to look for focus groups and pop-up shops and, places that you want to do what you're doing in. You want to niche down. All right. So thank you for your participation. All right. So you'll see here on this plan, and we're not going to focus much in this area because I have one part of this document that I really want to dig into. Um, you notice the questions that are here. What did I learn in the last 90 days? So even if you weren't doing this before, take a look back at January up to now, or don't even go that far back. Take a good look from March, April, and May. And from March, April, and May, what happened? Right? Was I successful? What did I do well? Right? So you see, was what was flowing in the last 90 days, right? Did you attend any workshops? Did you do any self-development? Did you do nothing? Right? It's okay to put that down. Remember, this is just for you, right? This is something to get your juices flowing. Um, what wasn't flowing in the last 90 days? So what was flowing? What wasn't flowing? So you're challenging yourself at this point. I want to look at this and see what did I do good? So that way you get a chance. I always say have tea with yourself, get yourself a little cupcake or something, put a little, candle in there, celebrate your wins, right? Um, and then what didn't go well? Maybe you launched something and nobody showed up, right? Maybe you gave a webinar or a Zoom and nobody jumped on. Maybe you gave a class and two people came and your goal was 10. So you want to know that. And then the last one is what is most important to accomplish for the next 90 days? What are you looking to do? So remember, this is personal, right? It's not just business. So personally, because if you are looking to be successful in business and your personal life is a shambles, you will fail. So you've got to break it up into personal, business, and passion. So that's what we're going to talk a lot about. So what did I learn in the last 90 days? What was flowing in the last 90 days? What wasn't flowing? And what is the most important thing for me to accomplish in the upcoming 90 days? So you're not going to dwell on whether you did bad, right? You're going to celebrate the wins, acknowledge what didn't go well, and move forward. So questions, comments, or anything on this section? Nothing? All right. So I want to welcome, I saw that Moses came in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So as we're going over this, remember the purpose of this, the plan of this is how do I succeed? So somebody's got something in the chat. To open some restaurants and help families in need. That's good. That's good. So that's Jaquetta. She wants to open up some restaurants. And that's a very good goal. So we have to start somewhere with that. So that's awesome. And remember, this is interactive. If you have your hand up, go ahead and, ask your question. In the chat, you're going to see that there's a PDF there that it's printable. And if you're like me, you can use a PDF filler and actually fill in. Somebody have a question? All right, awesome. So looking back, looking forward, right? So I'm going to move on from this. Now, those of you who are watching, I am on DocuHub right now. That's where you see like my little cursor moving around. DocuHub is a PDF filler. So if you have something that you want to type on, somebody gives you a document and you need to type in it, you can upload a document to DocuHub and you'll be able to type in it. So I'll put DocuHub in the chat before we come out of here. All right, so that was looking back, looking forward. So now we're going to move to the meat of this thing, right? So this is what's called a goals dump page. And I put 2 of these in this document that I created, right? So you're going to start here, and we're actually going to take 5 minutes to start this. So if you have a piece of paper, if you have your notes open, and I'm going to be so transparent that I'm going to do mine in front of you guys, right? I'm going to put some real stuff up on here because this is how, training works, right? So what this page is about is what can I do to make this quarter the best ever? So you're going to put the short-term goals, because remember, a short-term goal is anything that is, I want to say 0 to 1 year, right? That's a short-term goal. Your long-term goals are your 3 to 5 year goals. So if you have something that within this year you want to accomplish or something within the next month, 2 months, or 3 months, it would go on this paper, right? You don't want to put your life goal on here. That would be a different session because that gets very thick and heavy. All right. So we're looking at 90 days. Over the next 90 days, let me start typing. So over the next 90 days, personally, right? I want to say, oh, I should make this bigger so you can see, right? I need to do some more intentional self-care, right? I've been slacking in that area. So I'm not just going to say it. I'm going to put it down on paper for myself, right? Intentional self-care. We got Allison coming in. All right. So I'm going to put that down for myself as something that I know that's important, right? In my personal column. And when you're doing this, you want to have 3 to 5 goals in each area. Why? Because it's 90 days. That's a long time. Remember, there's 7 days in every week. There's 24 hours in every day, right? So we're going to break down by day. So something else personal, right? I'm married, right? And I need to be intentional about planning, planning vacation. We have a travel agent on here. I hope she didn't hear me. All right. Intentional about planning vacations. So I'm going to put this on here because remember, if my personal life is a shambles, my business life is not going to succeed. Right. So I need to be intentional. So I'm going to pop that over there. Something that when I was planning on coming on here, one of the things I thought about was that my teenager is coming home from college. So I need to be intentional about making sure I have made time for Angel because Angel is a time taker. right? I need to take time for her. I need to make sure that I put Wednesdays to the side for her or something to make sure that I am available while she is home because she has been away at campus. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 90 days. See how it's playing out? Um, so these are going to be some of my focuses for the next 90 days. Um, and then I have committed, I'm saying this out loud now. Now I'm going to say this. Accountability is huge when you're making a plan. You're accountable to yourself first. But when you share what you're doing with somebody else, it puts a little pressure on you, right? I have committed that I'm going to try to lose 20 pounds over the next 90 days. I lost 13 like in the last since February. So I'm going to put my 20-pound goal on here. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to break that down when we get to the next sheet. All right, so I'm just going to put 4, right? Now for business, now any questions about the personal goals? I want to open it up. Any questions? Anybody struggling to write things down? Y'all all good? Everybody? All right. So if you're not writing, um, use a note, like a note app or something. But you have to write it down, right? You got to write it down. You got to have it in the app. And I want to go so far as you need to have reminders set in your phone. So I will get as intentional as I will put for this 20-pound goal, I actually have in my reminders 3 times a day, lose the weight, fatty. I've got it in there. So my phone will chime. I'll look down and I'll be like, oh, I guess maybe I shouldn't have those fries today, right? Because I've got this reminder in there that is reminding me that I set a goal to lose a couple of pounds, right? And then I have another reminder that reminds me to meal plan. So it'll remind me on Saturday and on Wednesday that if I haven't made some meals that I can eat off, some soup, different things like that are healthy, that I'm going to lose, right? I'm going to move on into business. Let me check the chat. If anybody sees something in the chat that I'm missing, make sure you let me know. So for business, I'm going to put some goals down here, right? Something that I've been wanting to do is I want to join a new networking group. I'm not in a lot of networking groups, and I need to join some that are focused on what I'm doing, right? And when we first started, I talked about knowing your client, right? Knowing your niche. My client is it it tends to be a woman over the age of 50 that lives in the tri-state area that owns either a business or a nonprofit. That tends to be my client, right? So I'm a life insurance agent and I'm also a business marketing group, right? That's my client. So what kind of groups am I looking for? Groups that have those women in it, because that's who I'm looking to focus on. Doesn't mean that I won't sell life insurance to other people. I'll sell it to whoever asks me. But that seems to be who I'm able to service the best. They tend to refer me out, right? Whenever I, help those women, women seem to be more relational. They have more groups and social things that they're part of. So that's why that's my client, right? So just to help you to figure out what kind of groups I'm going to go into. The next thing that I'm putting down here is that every 90 days or so, I like to be a part of a pop-up shop or event, and I get a table, right? And I have to put this down because this is annoying. All right. Nobody wants to get up on no Saturday and be vending at no thing. I want to sit on my couch or do what I want to do on Saturday. So I'm putting this down here. And remember, I'm adding reminders and I'm going to tell somebody about it because I need to get to a pop-up shop or an event table to showcase what I'm doing, to bring in extra business. The goal is to bring in extra business, right? Something else that I'm going to put down here. Is with social media, right? So I have we're a marketing company, right? So I don't do my own social media. Somebody, helps me to create all my content. I've trained somebody to do it. But If you have a business, every time you do a 90-day plan, something about your media needs to be upgraded or changed. You need to look at how often you're posting, where you're posting, when you're posting. Are you getting any attraction from it? Um, so our regular social media pages are good, but I want to grow my YouTube page. So over the next 90 days, I'm going to be focusing on growing my YouTube page. I think I have 515 subscribers to the business page. I want to get some more people on there because I go on YouTube a lot and I find things when I'm looking for something, I go on there. So I want to grow my YouTube info page. So I'm going to be putting like free info on there, tagging people, emailing, so on and so forth, right? You see how it's kind of like unfolding. I want to open it up for a second. It's 8:30. Let's open it up for 2 minutes for questions or anybody have anything? I can't.
So
Oh, go ahead.
when you're opening up your YouTube page, like, do you just do something on it, a quick thing, right? And then you share it to people, or how do you make that available?
Um, well, we're going to do a breakdown when we get a little farther on how to bring the guts out of this page. But like I put it there very generally. So what
Hmm.
I would do, right? So because I'm focusing on my client, what I would probably do is I would probably do videos weekly, one video a week. I would hold myself to one video a week and I would pick a topic. So I would niche down on it now. So now I know I want to grow my YouTube page. Now I need to say what I'm doing, right? So if I'm going to do a topic on husbands die first, right? Because this is something I've been thinking about. There's a statistic, right? Husbands die first. Because remember, who's my client? My client is women over the age of 50. Majority of women don't marry a man that's younger than them. They marry somebody that's older. So I'm going to be doing husbands die first. They're going to look at that thing and say, what's this video about? It's not going to be about killing your husband either, but it's going to be about, how to set yourself up properly. So I would every week, I might talk about something different in that area. Make sense? I think we lost her. Okay. I'm sure she's coming back. Anybody else want to ask any
I'm
questions at
here.
all? Oh, you're there. Okay. Did that make sense?
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I would grow it. Um, a lot of it too is going to be when we get down to this last page, the five a day method, you're going to notice that every day you're going to be planning something that has something to do with this 90-day goal. You have to do this every day to succeed. You start out
Okay.
with something every day, right? All
Okay.
right, so I'm going to move over to the passion part. I hope you guys are writing as I'm doing this. If you're not, plan to be doing it when we get off of the Zoom because it's already 8:32. All right, so I'm going to go into the passion part. So for me with passion, um, I have a little patch of land that is down south, and it's something I've been trying to do. I've been trying to do like this whole tiny home thing down there. And I was talking to a surveyor the other day, and I never got back to this guy. So I'm going to put contact, the surveyor because the first project that we tried to do didn't go as well as I thought it was going to go. But I learned that people are looking for places to park their RV. So I want to find out how much would it take me to put some RV connections on my land. So I have to talk to the surveyor and find out, and then I've got to talk to City Hall to find out, what the permit looks like for that, where we become a camping site only instead of actually having a building there, but a camping site and where people can just go on Airbnb and say, hey, I'm coming with my RV. I want to park it. Do you have RV connections? So, right. So that's all in my brain, but I need to put it down because I need to hold myself accountable to do the fine tune. So I need to contact this surveyor and I need to find out more information about what it would take for me to get this done. right? So that's one of my passion things, right? And I'm only going to do one more because I want to get to the any questions that you might have, and I want to get to the each day thing, and then open it up for questions, and then we'll be off of here. Um, so another passion thing that I want to do. So we have the church in Elizabeth, and our outreach department just started doing once a month. Something that I would like to do with our outreach department is I want to move over to the projects. There's a project up the street.
Ooh.
And those people that are over there at the project, it's called Mavlag. Some of our new members are over there at that project. I need to talk to somebody there and find out how to get in their community room. I found out that they actually run AA meetings and stuff over there. What can we do to support the project? Because if we support the project and then we can help the people, and we're in the people business, right? So it's in the back of my mind. Every time I pull up to the church, I pass by and I'll be like, man, I meant to contact them people. So guess what? It's going on my list. So I can actually get it done. Um, the last thing that I'm going to put here on my passion, because I'm actually like interactively doing my list with you guys. So um, there's a grant writer, right, that I met in a women's group because I was going to this women's group to learn about grants for buying a building. And there was a grant writer there, and she operated out of Newark. And I want to get with her. And I have just been playing it in the back of my mind every day that you need to get with her. But guess what? I have not gotten with her. So don't feel bad if you've got all of these ideas running around in your head and you're not getting them done. The reason you're not getting them done is because you're not writing the vision down. You got to have it somewhere. And guess what? You need to say it out loud and hold yourself accountable. If you do it, it will work. All right. So I'm done with this part, and I am going to add more things, right? When I don't have you guys, I'm going to add a couple of more things. Now, when you do this 90-day plan, don't put more than 3 to 5 goals in each category, or you will not succeed. I'm going to repeat that. Do not put more than 3 to 5 goals, because every goal is packed with a bunch of work to get to the end. So you have to give yourself room to breathe to get some things successful, right? You can't I need to do this and I need to do that. And you know what you'll do? You'll be like the little meme of the Chucky doll that's sitting on the water saying, I'm not doing nothing because I got too much to do. I don't know if y'all seen that meme or not, but that is me on some days because my brain doesn't stop and I got 100,000 things that I want to do and I get so overwhelmed and I get nothing done. So this is what I do. So this is what a success plan looks like for me for the next 90 days. I want to open it up. It's 8:37. Let's open it up for a couple of minutes for questions. I see some things in the chat. Oh, y'all just laughing at me in the chat. I'm transparent. Any questions? So when we first came on, I was asking the types of businesses, the types of things that you're launching. Um, do you have any questions about things that should be on your business goals? Do you need ideas of what should be on there? It's open for you to ask. Put it in the chat or say something.
Morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
How are you?
Good, good.
So under the business part, like you put up there, the social media, I'm definitely not a social media person. Um, and I currently have, things being posted. But I don't know how to get into the realm of the reels and all of that stuff. I'm not a camera person, and I know you had said before that I don't have to be in the front of it. But I need to know how to, as far as targeting different groups and getting my business out there, in different atmospheres and entities and groups and being
Awesome.
more obtainable or reachable or
All
noticeable.
right. I'm going to show you a secret, right? With all these people on here. I'm going to show
Uh-oh.
you a quick secret, right? I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share it on Facebook real quick. So there's a way for you to start that, right? Now, you saying that, you don't do the reels and things like, can you see the Facebook screen?
No.
Okay, it says it's loading. That's why I asked. Let me see. Let me try it one more time.
Okay, I see it.
All right. So when you go into your Facebook, right, and you're in your regular Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
right here on the side where it says groups, you can go into groups or like I know you have a travel business, right?
Correct.
One of the things that you can do is you can type a topic over here. I need a vacation, right? Every person that has made a comment or question about needing to go on a vacation will pop up when you put that in,
Okay.
right? Trust me. If I type insurance in here, there's people, I'm looking for truck insurance. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. And I will just scroll down and I will comment on their post with my link. And I have gotten clients like that. So that way I'm not in their inbox, like creepy people that are in the inbox. Um, I hate when people try to inbox me that I don't know, right? Because I don't know you. So you'll see, look, there's even groups. There's groups called I Need a Vacation. You need to be in that group.
Okay.
There's a bunch of groups, 4 people. That's 4 people that could go on vacation through you. 8 people, right? That's one way,
Okay.
right? Go right here into that chat. Another way, really quickly, I don't know why my computer is doing what it's doing. Go into groups and just look for groups that are centered. Now, remember, you're doing vacations and you might feel like everybody goes on vacation. You need to find your client. Who is your client? Think about the last 3 clients that you sold. Who were they? Were they
Mhm.
families? Were they women? Were they men? Were they organizations? Were they churches? Were they, like niche down? Like I'm going to focus on churches. I'm going to book, and this is just an example, I'm going to book bus trips for churches. And I'm going to
Mhm.
focus on that for 90 days. I'm not going to try to get anybody else to go on vacation but those people. So now you're going to go into here and you're going to look for church groups, which is so easy to find, right? And you go in here and you try to join church groups. Look, church planting, church, you're going to get into these groups. And what you would do is you would start having regular conversation in there, hee and kiki and all of that. And then once they know you, hey, has your church been to Sight and Sound? Did you know that I plan those trips? Right? So you
Okay.
start building
Okay.
relationships within those groups. You start meeting new people within those groups, right? But it's a little bit of work. It's something that you could pay somebody to do for you, to start, looking into groups and sharing in groups.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another thing that you want to do, it's already 8:42, but I'm going to go back to Facebook real quick, right? On your business page, right? I'm going to go to mine real quick, right? On your business page, whenever there's a post made, like this is a post for something, an event that I'm getting ready to do, when you go to share now, if you're in groups, you have to be in groups. It takes a couple of minutes every day to join groups. Just join groups that have your client in it. Like say you were starting a boys program, right? To help boys, inner city boys. You need to join groups that inner city boys would be in. Because when you start to promote yourself, you'll be in those groups and look what happens. Because I'm in so many groups, when I click share, it doesn't just come up for me to share it with people. It asks me if I want to go to groups. Look at the groups that I'm in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When I share something in a group, and I'm actually going to do it, like this group is called Humble and Paid, there might be 200,000 people in Humble and Paid, right? And it is in some of these Black owned groups, like Black owned women, Black owned men, right? So you have to be a part of groups that have your client in it. If you're opening an art studio, you got to start looking for groups that focus on art. And when you niche down, what kind of art? There's so many types of art. When you niche down for who your client is that you want to walk into your studio, that's how you'll find your group. I hope that
Okay.
helped a little bit.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Yeah. And then just keep in mind, um, groups are massive. Like I shared an insurance post in a group the other day, a black owned New Jersey. There's 200, I want to say 240,000 people in that group. That was enough exposure for the day, for the week, for the month, right? I started getting all kinds of inboxes after that because it was all those people, right, that saw that post. And then if you're in an accountability group like this, right, other people share your posts. They shouldn't just share it to their page, to the 20 people they know. They got to share it in a group that has people that might want to go on vacation.
Got you.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So we're opening it back up. Anybody else?
Does that what you just whole group thing, do other social media venues have that same type of category where you could do that same thing?
LinkedIn has it. Um, it's not as defined on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn has it. Instagram is not very group oriented. Um, so I want to say that Facebook is really the place that you're going if your client is over the age of 30, right? Um, 35. So if your niche down client is over 35, I'm gonna tell you, I run an ad last week and I got 430 women over the age of 50 in my inboxes and lead forms, right? All of them will not buy, but there's a statistic of how many will. So say you were niching down on, and I'm just going to use a random example, babies with eczema. Maybe that's your niche for the 90 days. Now remember, it's not your niche for life, but maybe for 90 days, because your product, your shea butter works so well on eczema that you focus on moms groups. I'm going into moms groups because moms got babies. Guess what else? I'm going into groups with moms that are vegans because they use all natural products. I'm going into groups with brand new moms that are breastfeeding. I'm going wherever moms are. And somebody in that group is going to start talking about eczema. Now, after you've been in that group for a while and you've kikied a couple of people and liked a couple of baby pictures, guess what? You post something about one of your testimonials about the eczema and a wildfire will happen. But you got to get around people that you normally are not around.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Any other questions? I got Barbara, Moses, Robina, Jaquetta. Any questions about this business form, personal form, these 90 days yet?
I don't have any questions. This is me, Pastor Timmy Jaquetta. But everything that you're saying is like it's opening my eyes. Like it's so interesting in that I never knew. Like just saying having one topic on one thing and going into a group, and and it opening doors. So this is really good. It's really interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And this is something, that I have gained from listening to Jim Ron, listening to Les Brown over the years, listening to, webinars. Remember, if you're in business or you have a passion or a nonprofit, you have to have time to do self-development. You have to find people that know more than you and sit yourself before their feet, right? So back in the day, that would mean you would have to spend a bunch of money and go to a conference somewhere out of town. Now you can go to YouTube.
Mhm.
You can find somebody that's doing what you're doing and follow them. Look up the best restaurant that is as close to what you want to do, that looks like they're profitable. Eat their food, check out their ambiance, and then follow them.
Right, okay.
Right. So one of the things that and this is a Trump quote, so don't y'all kill me, right? Trump said, right? And he's a millionaire. If you think about money, who do you affiliate with? People who have money,
Right.
right? Trump said if the wheel is already rolling down the street and all the spokes are in it, then why are you going to try to run your wheel down the street with no spokes? They already figured it out. Duplicate the wheel.
Yeah.
There's too many people in the world for you to bump into the people that they're doing it with, right? Like I have other insurance agents that I give free information to. I'm not afraid of them because there's 8 billion people in the world. We're not going to bump into the same client unless we're focusing on the same exact geographical area. So I will connect with the ones that are better than me to find out what they're doing. Well, you hit how much this year? How did you do that? Right? So don't be afraid to link up with people. Don't be afraid of people. People that are doing what you're doing and doing it good. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next step. It's 8:50. I promise to get you guys off of here. Remember, we're gonna be doing this the first Saturday of every month at 8 a.m. If you're available. Questions, I'm opening the Zoom at 7:30. So that way, if you want to come in and you got a bunch of stuff to ask, you can. All right, so that was your dump, right? Personal, business, passion. So now how do you get this to come alive each day? Just because I put this stuff on here, it doesn't mean I'm going to do nothing with it. Have you ever done that? Anybody on here ever made a list and then you be looking at that same list again in January? I think we all have,
I think
right? I
you
see
know I
some,
have.
all right. All right. So I'm getting ready to dump this list down to here, right? This is something that I came up with called the 5-day method. I do this at least 3 out of 5 days out of the week. I'm not gonna tell you I do it every day, but at least 3 out of 5 days out of the week, I will write down 5 things that have something to do with this, right? So I'm gonna start in the personal category, right? So intentional self-care. So say it's Monday morning and I need to do intentional self-care, right? So on that Monday, I'm gonna write down I need to schedule a massage, right? I haven't been for one. I need one. So I'm going to schedule a massage today. Um, I've got on my list that I need to lose weight, right? So I'm going to do 30 minutes of activity today of some type. I'm going to walk or I'm going to do the treadmill or something today, right? That's on my list for today. So here's those 2 things in my personal. Now I'm going to look back at business, networking group, pop-up shop, YouTube page, right? For this YouTube page, I'm going to make video today, right? Because I'm going to look at my goal list to see how I can begin to succeed at the 90-day goal. So I got to look at every day to try to get there. So I'm not going to overwhelm myself with, I'm going to make a video on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. No, today, make one video. Right? So this would be like my Monday list, right? Women who have husbands, right? I'm gonna make and then maybe I won't do nothing else in the business for that particular day. Because remember, you got 90 days. So each day you're doing something towards this to achieve it. You're not overwhelming yourself and killing yourself. You're breaking it down. So now in the passion area, um, I got 90 days. I don't want to wait until the last 90 days to get in contact with these people, right? So I need to be doing something towards one of these. So for me right now, the surveyor one, just looking at it is overwhelming, but I'm gonna do it, right? But the grant writer one is not that bad. Ooh. So I'm gonna send her a text, right? Text Saida. See if she has any grant writing classes coming up. Get the price, right? You notice I didn't say that I'm gonna complete it. I'm just gonna start moving towards it on this particular day, right? And then my last one I'll leave open because I'll tell you something. We have more to do than what's on this list. So this one for me, a lot of times is business centered because I get very into depth with numbers. So I might put on here, I'm making calls for, from 10 a.m. to 2 today, right? Because I'm going to try to reach clients that are interested in life insurance, right? That's enough for the day, right? If you write down more than 5 things, you're just going to be writing just to play games. Write the 5 down. I print this out. Sometimes I put it in notes, but I am a 5 a.m. person, right? If you're getting up later than 6, you are part of the problem. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you're looking to succeed, and you don't have a medical problem, and you're getting up later than 6 a.m., you're a part of the problem. You will not succeed if you're getting up later than 6 because the world starts chiming and buzzing and ringing and calling you. And life demands, whether it's a regular job and everything else, normally starts between 8 and 9. You need time to get up and to have some kind of a plan. Now, your paper might not be this pretty, right? You might not print these out, but on a piece of paper, you need to write down what your day is. What are the 5 things every day that you need to do? Some of these for me will stay the same. Like I try to get 30 minutes of activity in every day because why? I'm trying to lose some weight, right? This will equate to when I get 90 days down, it's going to equate to that. Now, I might not put that every day. There's some days, like I think yesterday I put weigh myself, weigh in. That's a part of it because I'm holding myself accountable. Is the scale going up? Is the scale going down? Right? Um, some other things that I might put down, right? Made time for Angel, right? I need to look at a calendar and I need to, on a calendar, put down what days belong to her. And I need to block it on my calendar. So I will put that on, say, my Tuesday, block Angel's time out for the month. So that way, guess what? I've done half the battle with this because nobody else can get in her area. And I can almost cross this off because now I have intentionally done what I said I was going to do in that area. This is the part where people fail. It's easy to make New Year's resolutions and make a plan, but how do you execute the plan? By the day, by the week, by the month, right? So that's pretty much what I have today. I hope that this has helped you some. This 90-day plan is something that I came up with, compiled from all of the great thinkers that I've come in contact with over these 20 something years of being in business. Um, Looking backward and looking forward is important. What went well, what didn't go well, make sure you take the time to celebrate what went well, right? And planning. You must have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail, right? And your plan, if you are not doing well with making a plan and you have made a plan before, you need an accountability partner, 2 or 3. You need to bring somebody in on it. Hey, I've been trying to accomplish this. Let me tell you this vision that I have. Now, don't be Joseph and go tell everybody that don't like you. Find a safe circle of people who want to succeed and hold each other accountable. Hey, girl, did you post today? Did you hire a social media marketing company yet? You know, for the one who wants to do the art studio, have you been to any galleries that you like the way that they look? You know, like there needs to be some kind of accountability because there has to be small steps to go towards the big goal, right? And then this 5-day method, you have to have it. You have to do something every day towards where you are. Now, lastly, and I'll just add this, this is free. When do you sit down and see how you did? So you got 90 days, and then every week you're doing some stuff. Give yourself a CEO day, whether you have a business or it's just your personal life. Every Friday, I sit down and I have an appointment with myself at 3 o'clock. What did this week look like? Did I make money? Did I do any new connections? Are my accounts balanced? What did I do? And I start looking at the coming week on that Friday. I don't take 2 or 3 hours. I just take 30 minutes. What did this week look like? Let me see how many people I sold. Let me see how many people contacted me. Did I get back to everybody? You have to stop and evaluate. All right. So that's pretty much it for the day. There's so much more I could talk about, but I won't. Um, and just remember that, this was free information. It is a fundraiser. You'll see that we have our Cash App and our Easy Giving link in the chat. If God leads you to, donate something. If you need further help, I'm here. I do a little business coaching. I do a little helps. We also have a social media marketing company, and we can get you to posting a little bit more consistent so that you get a presence. We're here to help, right? Um, and just let me know. Let me know what I can do to help you out. If I can help you out, I will. I hope that this has been some help. We will be back on here again, June. Uh, looks like it's the first again. Yeah, so the first Saturday in June is the first, and the Zoom will be open at 7:30 in the morning. Any questions, comments, or helps that's needed, I'm opening it up now, and then we're gonna close out. Do, 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 do.
I just want to say thank you. This was very, very helpful, very insightful, very hopeful. Um, you know, especially with the how to plan part. Yeah, like most of us on here are the type of people that have ideas running in our head, and how to get them out of our head and make them manifest is an issue, because we all live life and life be life. And so um we appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, thank you. And share it with somebody. If you have somebody that you know that has so much potential and you don't see them growing, share that will be on here.
Hi, I
Anybody?
just have one quick question.
Yes.
Um, so in the beginning, when you're planning to go live, like how early or how far in advance should you start prepping people for that event? On say like Facebook or um going on Instagram or something like that.
So if will it be like a class or webinar, or just what are you doing live?
Just like a webinar, um, no more than an hour.
Okay. I'm gonna say this, and it's not gonna sound practical. Don't prep them. Just go. Right? Most of you that are on
Okay.
here, most of you that are on here had no idea I was doing this today. I think there's like one person on here that knew ahead of time, right? You're gonna grab an audience. You can post about it if you want to. You can post, 2 weeks in advance, start posting something. But if you're going live, it's going to depend on the groups that you're in. It's going to depend on how many followers you have, how many people are on your social media, and the networking groups that you're a part of, so that somebody can share the fact that you're live. So you want to get in groups that will complement what you're doing. Get in women's groups, get in, teachers groups, that know that artwork stimulates the brain. Get into like Youth in United Way, where they have, children and parents that would want to get their children into, say, water painting or the different things that you're doing. Um, Go to nonprofits, get into nonprofits, get on their church pages. Hey, can I do a free Zoom for you guys? Can I show you what I do? And then they will follow you. So you start to reach who it is that your client is. When you go live, everybody will just jump on. They'll just jump on. The people who are interested, they'll jump on. And when you go live consistently. There's Pastor Rodney Jackson goes live every Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. We can count on that, right? A lot of us over weeks and weeks and weeks of time have kind of set it in our schedules mentally. Rodney's gonna be live at 8 o'clock, because I can count on it at 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. So if you're going to do a webinar, it doesn't need to be spacey. Brandy's on every Monday, and I'm just using random, every Monday at 4 p.m., I can count on a water painting webinar or some kind of, like they need to be able to clockwork. This is when you're going to be on. So keep that in mind. You might start monthly, every month, the second Saturday of every month, I'm going live, and keep it consistent. Then maybe you start doing it weekly, whatever your schedule can maintain. But just do it. A lot of times we overthink it and we don't get nothing done. We be like that Chucky doll sitting at the water.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions, comments? And if you have to go, feel free to drop off. I'm just opening it for questions and comments now. All right. If there's no more questions or comments, we're gonna. Oh, somebody have something?
Yeah, it's me, Pastor. I just
Okay.
want to say again, it was really helpful. It make me, it gave me something to think about. I never thought of it, I know I always wanted to open up a restaurant, but just like I said to myself, where do I start? How do I start? I also, I was selling dinners. I know that's kind of a start as well, but just to learning how to really connect and network with people. So, and definitely you are such a great help. So I know if I never need help, I can come to you. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I hope
You're
everyone
so
hears.
welcome.
Yeah.
And then just remember too, there's a lot of steps with a business, right? So you're gonna need to you're gonna get like some kind of a planner. You need to get with a coach, even if it's just once or twice, to write out a plan. Because when you're launching something as serious as a business, I mean a restaurant, there's all kinds of certifications you gotta get. You gotta have a physical location and blah 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 blah, right? So it's going to be imperative for you to find somebody who has a restaurant or has done one so that you can reach that goal. Somebody that is open. So if you get in, say you get in a women's network or a restaurant network of some type, say, hey, what was step one for you? What did you do first? Like you need that. And go to YouTube University and put in steps to open a restaurant in New Jersey. I bet you somebody has a video.
Okay.
All right. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then in the chat, I just put the PDF filler because sometimes we have documents and stuff that we want to type on. The PDF filler is in there. That was what I was using to type, on that PDF that I had in there. So if you're an electronic person like me and you want to be able to type everything in, that way you can just kind of like peek at it. I'm gonna stop the recording. I forgot it was even doing it.